Okay, now speaking of getting better bricks, now we're going to move along to the products. And we're going to talk about pHing first because if you're feeding a plant and just blatantly dumping food at it, and it's not pHed, you're wasting your money. You don't need that much food. If you pH it properly, you'll be feeding it, the right amounts of food will be uptaken, and your soil health is a big portion of that. So you want to make sure that all that's going on. And that's why I always say you can't go overdoing it with the mycorrhizae and the beneficial bacteria, the bacillus, glomus, trichodermis, you got all that stuff going on. Alright, now, in our soils, we talked in a past class about pHing liquids as they go in. And so we're not going to talk about that, but now we're going to talk about how to adjust your soil. If you took your pH meter, and there's different ways to talk about that, but if you test your soil, and if you need to raise or lower the acidity, sulfur is going to create an acidic environment, whereas lime creates a base environment. So we can alter our soil. And this is what they do for a lot of plants too, like different things like hydrangeas. We can change their color just by feeding it more sulfur or more lime. I can turn it to pink or blue by doing that. And a lot of plants too, like your runts, your skittles, and things like those plants, that's how we achieve those different colors, is by adjusting the pH that they're getting fed. And when you're indoors, you can adjust the light to complement what you're trying to achieve. But mostly we're talking about outdoor gardens right now, and so the soil health, these items here, we've got the two things in the back are the lime and the sulfur. Those are for keeping a balanced pH, so your plant wants to eat. Everyone knows if something's too salty, you don't want to eat it. If it's too acidic, it causes heartburn. You don't want to eat it all, right? But you probably would anyway if you're hungry now. Anyway, so we want to achieve this for the plant and keep that balance so the plant wants to uptake these things so we can create the higher BRIX levels. Now we get that from minerals. We also get that from sugars, okay? And we get that from things like your potassium and your nitrates. So I've got them all lined up over there. We've got some minerals that we're starting down there on that side with the C90. That is a whole variety of minerals that for putting in your soil. It mixes at a very low rate into your water, and you water it on, or if you got one of those garden hose in sprinklers, that works great. It's soluble. You got your CalMag, which is highly important. Magnesium binds with all these other minerals that you're going to be putting into the water. So the magnesium is going to grab those, like putting cheese around the pill that your dog doesn't want to eat, but if you wrap it up in a piece of meat, your dog all of a sudden eats that. So the plant likes the magnesium, which the magnesium binds with minerals. Okay. All the way down here we got potassium, and then here we got silica. Okay, those are basic minerals that we need. Now then, aminos. Amino acids are the building block of a BRIX sugar. So we need aminos. People need aminos. Plants need aminos. Okay? The soil breaks down these minerals, and they convert, and they become aminos. And then I have aminos that are more readily available, so we don't have to wait for time, because these are going to go up and make things fast now, especially for faster growing crops. And if you're using this on lettuce, you'd be amazed what it does for your lettuce, your spinach, or any of your sprouts. If you guys are sprouters and doing your microgreens, then it's amazing. Okay? So, on that note, we got the fish powder, and I got a product called fish shit. Okay, now these are part of the microbes plan. We talked about these microbes, right? And then the microbes, they clean the roots. They make more food available because they're cleaning the roots. The roots are always sucking things up like a vacuum, and you got to clean the filter of the vacuum. You can't suck up if the vacuum bag is full. You just got to empty the vacuum bag. Well, that's what the microbes are doing for you in your soil. They keep the roots fresh, lively. They're feeding off the roots. Then they're actually eating, so they're pooping, and then they have then at that point created plant food. So they've unlocked all the ability for a plant to eat and provided the food to eat. All right. With that, the BRIX. You see, this product is called Hydroponics. Okay, this is molasses. And molasses is really good. We use it in a lot of plants, and people use it. It's almost the same thing. This is a lot cheaper because it's plant grade. It's not designed for human consumption, but it is probably okay. It doesn't taste any different to me.
So you can put real molasses, dilute it in water, and pour it on your plants, just like you would honey or just like your Italian.
It goes into the soil, and the plant doesn't directly eat the molasses. The microbes do. It's like pie and cake when usually they're only eating, whatever's available, and all of a sudden this sweets come along and they go, oh, yummy, that was good. That was absolutely delicious. And then so they're eating more, and because the sugars in the molasses, the biology that we're talking about here are one cell. So as soon as they get some sugar in them, they're able to divide. Blam! So you doubled your numbers. Because of the molasses, you're able to double the numbers of the biology. They're not just down there eating on what they can find. You're giving them something that they love to eat.
Okay.
And, yeah. So then, there's a lot going on too with fish. This has naturally in it is BT. We talked about that, about killing things. BT is Bacillus thuringiensis, and that will kill all the soft-bodied insects, their larvae, and their eggs. And so that we could use this as a foliar or in your soil. And if you use it as a foliar spray, it's actually going to be like a little army on the plant eating any food that it could find, which those would be insects and their eggs. All right.